What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode. Today, joining the show, we have defensive end from Clemson, Kevin Swint. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man.
That's great to hear. So, something I want to go all the way back to before we talk about your, playing at Clemson, playing one of the best, schools for football is this kind of high school football. You played at Carrollton High School in Georgia. Obviously,
Yeah.
Georgia high school football is one of the best you can ever be a part of. So what was the whole experience like for you?
Oh man, it's just really, having competition on a daily basis. I would say I came from a pretty known high school. So we had a lot of Division I guys. We had a couple of guys signed for SEC schools and stuff like that. So, competing was like never anything new to me. So it was kind of pretty smooth, making that transition into college.
So when you're at Carleton, you won the Region 7-5A MVP, and you were a nominee for the Buckus semi. So what like forced you to like allowed you to again excel like at a young age and realize that you can really be one of the best players out there?
Oh man, it's really quite honestly, bro. It was like growing up with my brothers, man. They bullied me around, so made me have like tough skin and stuff like that. Then just having great coaches all around me like Sean Calhoun, Brian Simmons, and Thomas Keefe. Thomas Keefe, he played at Central Michigan. I think he's still in the record books for like the total tackles or something like that in NCAA history. So, having a great coach like him who always, pushed me and kind of motivated me to be the best version of me, as Coach Sweeney would always say. So, it was just simple stuff like that, man, going out playing with my brothers and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned your brothers. They kind of like force you to kind of be aggressive, go out there and play. But I read an article that they were very like influential into making you want to play football. So how do they kind of like make you want to go out there and play too?
Man, I kid you not, like when I was like 10 years old, it was like before that, bro. I was like 8 years old playing throw 'em up, eat 'em up with my brothers. And I was always around football, bro. It was like my brother was in high school. I literally would like sit on the sidelines with those guys and actually watch them play, because they had you may know Jonathan Jones. He plays for the New England Patriots right now. But it was like guys like him, always loving me up, talking to me, man. Little stuff like that goes a long way with a kid who's, inspired by you and it looks up to you. So it was kind of little stuff like that, man, that made me fall in love with the game of football.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's cool to hear. I mean, like you mentioned, Jonathan Jones, he's a phenomenal player for the Pats. So that's really cool to see that he had that influence along with your brothers and being around that. But with the recruitment process, you were getting offers very early in high school. I mean,
Yeah.
they were just flowing in, top five schools, top tier schools. At one point, you got three on the same day. I believe it was like Michigan, Tennessee, and Miami, which is crazy to see happen. But what was like the whole entire recruitment process like for you, and when did it really take off?
It was kind of surreal, bro. It kind of took off I want to say the end of my freshman season, going into my sophomore year, spring. I think I got my first offer from Memphis. I was at home, my mom and my coach, he had called me. He was like, Memphis wants you to, give you an opportunity to play the next level. And I was shocked, because it's like you always dream about stuff like that, and then seeing the process that my brother went through and how hard it was for him. And so me having a little, I wouldn't say the easier process, but what I'm saying, I had God blessed me with the ability to, go wherever I wanted to go. So it was just crazy, man. But the recruitment process itself, it was kind of like, I enjoyed it. Some people make it out to something that it really isn't. You know what I'm saying? You really should never stress over, because at the end of the day, you're making that decision for yourself and to set yourself up for, 40, 50 years down the road. So, man, it was a smooth process. I enjoyed every bit of it. Going to new places, man. I never really went on vacations as a family, you know what I'm saying? So for me to go and go to places like Michigan and Alabama and see like different cities and the college atmosphere and looking at stadiums, I was like, bro, my mind was blown away, because it's just something I always dreamed about as a kid.
Definitely. I mean, you really embraced like the recruitment process and going and making the most of it, which is very respectable to see. But something that is interesting is like every one of these schools, of course, they want to make the best pitch to you and say like, we really want you, we're the best. But what like kind of stood out above the rest during recruitment to make you say like they're legit, or they really care about me more than most?
I mean, I'm at Clemson right now, so I'm gonna give you this story, man. It was just, Clemson always kept it real, man. It was, a lot of schools, they kind of put on that image that, man, we love you, you're our top guy, it's stuff like that. Everybody hears that. But, man, Clemson, man, it was like surreal. Like it's real people, it's real genuine people here, and they actually care about you. For me to make the decision to come there, it wasn't like they were like, what I'm saying, demanding or begging. It was just like, man, whether you feel comfortable with the decision or not, man, we still, respect you as a player and wish you the best. That's really what that's all you really can ask for. And some players get bashed for, what I'm saying, going to a different school by all types of people, man. But it was not the case here at Clemson, bro. It was a very loving and very family involved environment.
Definitely. I mean, was the decision to go to Clemson over, I guess, a hometown team, Georgia, like easy, hard? Like, what was like the reaction in the state of Georgia when you decided to go to Clemson? I don't even know if you included Georgia on your top 7, for that matter. So what was that like?
Man, it was I consider Georgia a lot, man, when I was going through the recruitment process at the early phases of it. But it was never really that hard. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't I never grew up a Georgia fan. I was actually an Alabama fan, man. I loved Alabama as a kid, so they kind of put it up in the air. But you know what I'm saying? It was never really that big of a deal for me making that decision to go to Clemson over Georgia.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Bama, so why didn't you decide not to go there if that was your dream? So I have to ask you that now too.
Man, there's multiple reasons, man. Not what I'm saying, I feel like I could get developed. I'm not saying that Alabama doesn't develop guys, they do, man. You see what they're about doing a draft, but I feel like I could be more of a part of a family here at Clemson, man. And quite frankly, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt more loved at Clemson. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I knew the guys I was coming in with personally.
Yeah, well, on a bright note, you came in with Sergio Allen, who I believe was a good friend of yours, is a good friend of yours. So what was it like going in and being roommates with him? But did you also like kind of share the recruitment process together?
I mean, I want to say we shared the recruitment process together, but man, Sergio was like my brother for real, man. Like we met at camps and stuff like that. So our relationship built off that. And we played in the Rising Senior game together in Georgia. Well, the Rising Senior game in Georgia. So it was like, man, we were kind of like glued together. It's kind of really like my blood brother. I would consider him. That's how close we are. But sharing the recruitment process, we really didn't like speak about it too much until he was trying to get me to, join the Clemson squad, bro. he was like one of the big motivators of, persuading me to come here. Not, I won't say persuading me, but giving me knowledge on, what you get yourself into.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it all worked out. You signed on early National Sign Day. You became a Tiger with him. But your first year at Clemson was, I mean, not in terms of the team, but in general, it was pretty chaotic. COVID was happening, the pandemic was happening. No one knew what was going on. I talked to Hunter Helms, who was a quarterback at the time when he came in his freshman year. He said that every day you guys were getting tested, it felt like. So what was the season, that whole year for you like?
Yeah. it was chaotic, bro. I'm gonna be real with you, man. You waking up 6 o'clock in the morning just to go get a COVID test just so you can practice, man. You never would think about that, what I'm saying, going into your first year. But man, it was crazy. But man, we embraced it, man. We, what I'm saying, we made the best out of it, as you can see, man. We went into the college football playoffs. We didn't get the big prize, but what I'm saying, getting there itself is it's hard to do. And I learned that from this season itself. What I'm saying, it's real hard to win. So, what I'm saying, appreciating winning, man, and knowing what it takes to win, man, it's crazy what we did that year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you said it yourself, it's no easy task to make it to this cultural playoffs, especially during a pandemic. But what stood out to you your first year there, saying like, well, these guys, it's a hard situation, but we made it. We made it what it is.
Man, it was really the leadership, man. You saw the type of guys we had. We had great players, but Trevor Lawrence and guys like Travis Etienne and Cornell Powell, man, they were all in my locker section. So man, they was great leaders, bro. Honestly, bro, they really made the ship go, the way that it went. And what I'm saying, just watching those guys do what they did, what I'm saying, they passed the torch down to us and just holding the tradition down, man, and knowing what it takes and doing what it takes to, what I'm saying, be at that, to perform at that high level.
Definitely. For sure. I mean, you mentioned you're around all those great leaders and they were all kind of there for you. Did any of them like kind of take you under their wing during that season?
Man, Jamie Skowski, man, Baylon Spector, the Bruce brothers, as y'all know them as, bro. They took us under their wing, man. You know what I'm saying, anytime we had questions about, you know what I'm saying, the playbook or just anything, man, they, you know what I'm saying, they took us under their wing and kind of passed us down the ropes. And then guys like Justin Foster from the previous season, man, that's the guy that really took me up under his wing, man, and kind of helped me make that transition from a linebacker to a defensive end, man. So I got much love for my boy Justin Foster.
Yeah, you mentioned it just now, switching from linebacker to defensive end. Again, no easy task. I mean, it almost feels like the game gets faster on you because it's developing like right then and there when the ball snapped. But what was that entire transition like, and how did it kind of come up? Like, were you okay with that, or what happened?
I mean, yeah, I was okay with it, man. It's kind of just bloom where you plant it, man. But you know what I'm saying, I have much more improvement to make. You know, just type of person I am, man. It's always room for improvement. But making the transition, man, it's been pretty smooth, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Just learning from guys like KJ Henry, bro. You know, he leads by example on and off the field. So just learning from him, man, trying to be the best version that I can be. You know, everything else to take care of itself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to embrace what's there for you. So I definitely respect that. But you played your first game, or I believe your first game was against the Citadel. So what was that whole experience like for you playing your first game in Death Valley?
Man, I was super excited, bro. My first college game. You know how your eyes get big. You like, bro, this is like what you dream about playing college football. Like as a kid, you dream about yourself being on NCAA. Sadly, anymore, but it's kind of like that's the kind of excitement that I got from it, bro. You know, it was a great atmosphere. I made a couple of plays, so everything went smooth, bro. You know, yeah, it was pretty good.
Definitely. I mean, you ran down the hill during the pandemic, but is it still, you still get the same, I guess, goosebumps running down the hill the first time as you do now, especially with more fans in the stands?
Man, heck yeah, bro. It's like it's gonna be super loud. Once you hear that cannon go off, it's like you jumping in the arena, bro. Literally, bro. Like it's crazy. It's super electric, man. It's loud. It's kind of we vibe off the fans' energy. You know what I'm saying? As we have our own energy as itself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so looking now to the past season that just happened, 2021, 2022 year, obviously a lot of adversity happened, a lot of stuff was going on. But before we get into all that, the one game I want to touch on, I know you said you weren't raised a Georgia fan, but the game was spectacular to see happen because it was like almost, in my opinion, it was like the first like big game of college football since the pandemic. Everyone was there, everyone was loud, playing in Charlotte, neutral site field. Like, what was that whole experience like for you and going out there?
Oh man, it was crazy, bro. It was like I'm not gonna say it was the biggest game of the year, but you know, it was a huge entertainment game for a lot of people watching college football coming back from off the COVID year. It's like, man, this is what college football is really all about, having fans in here, you know what I'm saying, being extra loud, being rowdy, and then coming down to a close game like that. Sadly that we didn't, you know, make the extra play that would help us win the game. But, you know what I'm saying, it was all kind of a learning experience, man.
Definitely. I mean, again, throughout that whole season, there was a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries, a lot of stuff happening. But the two games to kind of, I guess there was three, you know, the Iowa State game was huge, the South Carolina game was huge. And then obviously the Wake Forest game was also a very big game. So winning those three games, beating your rival, beating, you know, a team that people thought were going to end the streak at home and then winning the closer, like what was those games like for you to go out there and play?
Oh man, it was like I mean, just be the best version of you. That's real. I live my life by that, man. Be the best version that you can be. You know what I'm saying? Leave it all out there, you know what I'm saying? And God will take care of the rest, bro. That's really what came down to it, man. Because once you prepare during a week for games like that, man, and you know you locked in, bro, it really isn't too much that can stop a team like we had all the adversity that we went through, bro. We were kind of battle tested as you would say.
Definitely. You know, during the weight game, obviously Clemson was off and running from the very start. They were putting points on the board. You guys were going to stop. So it was a crazy game to see. But at the end, you know, the fans finally rushed the field for the first time in felt like 20 years. So, you know, what was that moment seeing everyone just kind of rushing down at you guys?
Man, it was crazy. That was my first time ever experiencing something like that. Then, you know, you saying you upsetting the top 10 team, and it was like, man, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, using the metaphor, like we went in the Super Bowl, bro. Like that's how I felt. Like you got all your fans, you got classmates running down, man, congratulating you, man. So it was great, bro. It was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It was an electrifying sight to see for sure. And then obviously South Carolina, the rival, that was your first game against them too because of COVID. What was that game like for you?
Man, it was a great game, bro. Like being a defensive player that I am and having a shutout against your rival, bro. Like I feel like that's the most humblest way that you can like, what I'm saying, say that you're a winner. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing crazy because people can blow stuff out of proportion, but it was a great way to go out.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I still remember leading up to the game, everyone was saying like, "Oh, South Carolina, this is their year, this, that, and the other." Like they were talking nonsense, I guess. You obviously showed
Yeah.
up what's up. 30's year. That does speak volumes right there. That does speak volumes. So looking ahead of this season, there's a lot of expectations for the team, especially the defensive line. The Avengers are here now. So like, what do you think the goal is for this defensive line and for yourself?
Man, quite honestly, bro, it's to be the best defensive line in the country. Well, in history, honestly, we want to be the greatest defensive line to ever play college football, bro. And it just starts with, what I'm saying, us, as players, taking competition seriously and just trying to make each other better because iron sharpens iron, bro. And to cap it off for the national championship, bro. Honestly.
Definitely. So I saw in a video, I guess your name is War Machine, I believe,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Avengers.
War,
So
yeah, War
so
Machine.
how'd you get that?
Bro, I have no idea. I have no idea, bro. I mean, probably KJ could probably tell you more about it than I can, bro. Honestly, I don't really have that much information on who got the name, who got to select the names, bro. But hey, I'm gonna play my role. I'm gonna
Hey,
play my role.
War Machine sounds like a cool name. All right. I'm not a big Avengers guy necessarily, but that's a fire name. I'm not gonna lie. Uh,
Yeah.
so you're working out. You said you're in Atlanta now, working out, trying to get better. Obviously, the spring game just happened. Spring season's kind of ending now, transition to summer. But what is your ultimate goal as a player to kind of get ready and be better?
Man, there's a lot of things, man. Really focusing on my weaknesses, man. That's how you get better. And also focusing on your strengths to perfecting your craft. But you know what I'm saying, just being a more influential and a functional player, defensive end, kind of letting the game slow down and come to itself. That's really
Is that kind of a specific thing, just trying to make the game slower for you, or is there like other things in there?
man, focusing on technique, bro. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. I feel like you can if you're a technician at what you do, then you know what I'm saying, you'll win matchups that you're supposed to win, and in some matchups like David Goliath, that a guy might be on paper better than you, but your technique is quite better than his, so it really doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I also obviously Dabo. Everyone's gonna ask you about Coach Sweeney and about him, but something I saw during recruitment, you said that he's almost, you compare him to your dad in a way.
No,
So
for real.
why is he like your dad?
I mean, Coach Sweeney, bro, he's gonna keep it real as it get. I mean, some days he gonna say some stuff that you might not want to hear, and some days he gonna say the truth no matter what, bro. It's like Coach Sweeney is there for benefit of the players, like no matter what. It's like it's all about the players when it comes down to him. And you always gonna get a real version, a real unique version. And there's no other person like Coach Sweeney, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Definitely. Was there like a specific moment, whether it was through recruitment or even now during the seasons while at Clemson, that made you kind of make him stand out and say like he's, I guess, the real deal for you?
I mean, it's just, keeping it real, bro. Like he told us, like, you know what I'm saying, last year, for example, like, it's just gonna take, you gotta invest way more into this winning, and winning is very it's taken for granted. You know what I'm saying? You can't take stuff for granted. You can't get caught up in doing emotions and stuff like that coming off, you know what I'm saying? Winning 10 games in a season is hard, bro. It's literally hard, I'm saying. But it's just come down to what I'm saying, taking advantage of the opportunity.
Definitely. Before I let you go, I have a couple questions because look, I found some basketball opinions, I should say. So
Yeah,
back in 2020, you tweeted that MJ is the GOAT. So
yeah.
why do you believe he's the GOAT and not Mr. King James?
I mean, bro, honestly, bro, I kind of think it's 50-50, bro. As I've been watching LeBron James play, bro, I was like, you know what I'm saying? He does some things at this age, bro. Michael Jordan wasn't doing it at his age. Well, Michael Jordan had played as long, but LeBron is dominating the league still.
Mhm.
But the reason I really said Michael Jordan was that was that guy, bro, because I feel like he played in a way more physical environment, way more physical league. Not saying LeBron isn't getting banged up, you know what I'm saying? But you had people like Larry, you had like the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons literally clotheslining Michael Jordan out there and him getting up, you know what I'm saying, and going for 30 hitting game winner. So that's my, you know what I'm saying, reason why.
Another tweet you said, imagine the world without sports. And this was like recently. So why was that something that crossed your mind?
Man, I literally was thinking, I was like, imagine the world without sports, bro. Like, that's a key entertainment. Like, every time you turn on the TV, it's something related to sports wise, bro. Like, it's something always related to sports. Like, imagine you not flipping on the TV, or imagine you going through a season like the summertime and not expecting the NBA finals. Like, people was literally going crazy because they thought college football was getting shut down completely. No games, no televised games at all. Like, that's a major part of entertainment for people.
Definitely. No, I agree. I mean, I think sports are obviously a great thing to watch, great thing to be a part of. And
yeah.
my last thing I saw is you said you want to open up a restaurant at some point in your life. Is that still true today?
I mean, I would do that on the side, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of falling in love with real estate, bro, honestly, because I see the value in it. I see the value and how it's going up right now. So I'm kind of jumping on that wave. But you know, I love to cook personally, bro. I love to, you know what I'm saying? You see something on TikTok, you bookmark it, you like, I'm gonna try that. You know what I'm saying? So I always kind of thought about opening up a restaurant. My mom makes great food. So that'd probably be the main reason. She'll probably be the main head honcho.
What's your favorite dish to make?
My favorite dish to make? Dang, you hit me with one.
I had to.
You hit me with one right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like cooking. I like cooking this Cajun Alfredo pasta, bro. I cook mean Cajun Alfredo pasta, bro. I can really cook, bro. That's the crazy part.
That sounds pretty fire right there. I'm gonna lie, that sounds good. Well, Kevin, I appreciate you coming on. Do you have any final things you want to say before we end it?
Nah, man. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to give you a little more insight about my life, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, I appreciate you coming on.